Well, good morning and welcome to today's episode of Transformed. Today I want to talk to you about a rose in your midst.
Welcome to today's message with Pastor Jim Balzano.
As always, I want to thank Park Home for our studio furniture. You know, over the years, I have officiated or attended a lot of funerals for way too many young people. Young people, both men and women, who have battled issues in their lives such as drugs or alcohol or perhaps some other type of addiction, or maybe they encountered abuse. They've battled legal problems because of poor choices. They've encountered relationship issues over decisions that they've made. They've battled the shame and the guilt that comes with many of those decisions. The fact is, though, many of them are incredible people, but yet they are a living and breathing paradox in so many ways. A paradox is that which has contradictory features or qualities. For example, many of them are strong, yet so weak. Many are happy, and yet so sad. Many are in pain, and yet cause pain. They are the life of the party on one hand, but for them, life is no party. They are proud, and yet they also have a level of shame. They are an incredible people. They love their family, yet they hurt their family. They live with who they are at their core, yet addiction, depression, and many other struggles cast this shadow that's not the substance of who they are, but rather just a figment of who they are. The shadow becomes more visible than the person. They're more visible than the person they really are without their struggles or their issues. You know, what's amazing is the shadow becomes the thing that others relate to rather than the person or the core of who the person is. That shadow becomes the thing that people come to dislike about them. That shadow is the very thing that they themselves hate about themselves. That shadow looms over their life, and it continues to suck the life out of them. I think about them often. And what could I compare them to, though? You know what I compare them to? I compare them to a rose. They are like roses in our midst. They are like roses among us. You see, think about the flower, the rose. It's something that brings beauty to a room. The roses are beautiful flowers. I mean, how many ladies don't like getting a dozen roses? A rose is a flower that is a complement to almost any room. A rose is something that is very pleasing to look at. It is something pleasant to see. It makes people smile. Usually they're given as a gift. They're just beautiful. A rose also has this wonderful aroma. A rose can fill the room with its scent. A rose, a dozen of roses, can change the atmosphere of a room just by its mere presence. They are incredibly beautiful flowers. Many of these young men and women I have met and I've had to do funerals for are like the rose. They bring beauty where they go. They can be a compliment anywhere they find themselves. They are pleasing to be with many times. They have the ability to change the atmosphere of a room. They can fill the room with a wonderful fragrance. But you know what? There's something else about these roses. They have thorns. Now, I guess the actual official word for those of you who know a whole lot more about flowers than I do, that people actually say they don't have thorns, they have prickles. Well, they have prickly sides. A rose has a prickly side. Talk about a paradox. Something that is so beautiful and so aromatic that can also cause such pain. Have you ever picked up a rose and the thorn got you? Roses have a prickly side to them that can bring pain into your life. Roses have this defense that can bring pain. Roses have prickly parts that are caused from other parts that haven't grown sufficiently. Roses have this part of them that when coming into contact with them, they can cause pain in your life. Many of these people, many of these young people, are the roses with the prickly side that causes pain. Many of them have that part of them that has pricked your heart and it pricked your life. Many of them have that prickly side as a result of poor choices, the consequences of poor choices. And some of them have those prickly sides because they have learned to set up a defense mechanism. The truth is, if all I focus on is the prickly side of the rose, I'll miss its beauty. If all I focus on is the prickly parts, I will miss a fragrance that can fill my life. If all I focus on is the prickly parts, I won't be able to embrace it or handle it or have its beauty as part of my life. The fact is, in spite of the prickly side, the rose is still there. I would even suggest that the prickly side is part of the rose. Some say, well, why do you put up with that? Why are you willing to endure the pain that they can bring into your life? Why are you willing to deal with their heartaches and their disappointments? And why are you willing to deal with the frustration that comes? Why deal with the prickly? Because there's still a rose connected to that prickly stem. You see, I've been pondering this a lot lately, and I've most recently had to go and attend another funeral where this young man who had so many things going for him, this young man who is so gifted in so many ways, this person who brought beauty to a room and yet brought heartache at the same time, he again is like that rose. And so I want to encourage you that I'm sure that many of you watching this, you've got some roses in your life. I want you to see their beauty. I want you to enjoy the aroma that they bring. But yes, indeed, beware of the prickly side. They will jab you. They will hurt you. Pain is part of dealing with them. But never lose sight of the rose that's in your midst. Because connected to the prickly side is a beautiful, aromatic, if I can say it that way, a beautiful, aromatic flower that'll bring joy into your life, even in the midst of pain. So this week, go enjoy a rose. Have a great day.